Hello guys, I'm Climbby. Today I'm going to be ranking every Jartex Gamemode. Let's talk about KitPvP. So as you get stuff, the game changes drastically. As soon as you get brawling, you quickly realize that it's impossible to beat anyone with a prestige above 5 or maybe even lower. So you're first going to experience misery and humiliation. But if you get your hands on some good gear, and if you know how to left click with your mouse, trust me, the world will be yours. Having said this, I think it deserves an A tier. It's very fun once you get gear. Let's talk about Bedwars, the game mode that I main. Now, an interesting thing about Bedwars is that there are talents. This can be good and bad from many perspectives, but I think it's good that it adds a reward for the most experienced players, and it doesn't change the game that much, the outcome. Like, if there's someone with max talents but with no game sense, I feel like the person with game sense wins. I think I'll give it S tier. And also Bedwars englobes a variety of skill in Minecraft, which I think makes it a very good game mode. And if you think like, oh, Climbby, I totally disagree. I think Bedwars should be B tier for Bedwars. Well, you can actually give your opinion and be irrelevant about it. There's gonna be a Google Forms link in the description, and I'm gonna make a video about what you guys think about the game modes, and not me. So if you are interested in participating in a video and voicing your opinion, this is the right place to do so. Okay, let's talk about practice. I personally like it a lot, but not enough for a C tier. I mean S tier. This is gonna be A. It was kind of fun to get the largest party in practice. Like, I'm happy about that. I'm not gonna, like, say that I'm not. But it lacks a variety of game modes, and some of them are even glitched, so... I do think this deserves an update. If it had an update like Beacon Networks, I would give it an S tier, but I'll keep it on A. SkyWars. Now, they did remove the pay to win ranks recently, so I really like that. And to the more experienced players, it rewards you with the perks, which are similar to the Bedwars talents. This can be quite OP though, so I'm not sure if I like it as much, but I'll keep it on S tier, just below Bedwars. And the games are kind of varied as well most of the time, because there are those game changers. The only thing that I find kind of annoying is that you can't really buy kits with coins, and the only like broken kit is healer, I think. So it's kind of unbalanced, but I'll keep it an S tier. It's a very fun game mode. I could see myself playing it for hours on end. So yeah, I'll keep it here. Now comes TheBridge. This game mode seems boring and extremely demotivating at first. You gather all your loot just to get hit with a fishing rod.
No, no!
And all those 30 minutes you've been gathering stuff are just gone. So I'll have to put it on D tier. Getting 30 minutes of your life wasted does not feel very good, I gotta be honest. But as you play more and more, you start to see everything that you can learn about the game. The community is awesome, and even after years without updates, we still get upwards of 80 players simultaneously. So for the community, myself, along some of the most respected TheBridge players, we have created the Bridge community as a Discord server, where the goal is to interact with each other, stay connected, stay united, and to not let our favorite game mode descend, with all its potential to be the best game mode on Jartex. And luckily, this game mode has the two best Jartex content creators. If you want to join this server, the link is right there in the description, right below the Google Forms one. And for that, I'm gonna give it the top of S tier. Let's not talk about factions. So far, all the game modes have been amazing. Maybe because I just like them for being 1.8 PvP game modes. But factions is a bit different. I joined factions at the end of the season, so a lot of the features were just disabled. And I gotta tell you, it's not very fun to play a game where most of the features are disabled. So I'm gonna have to give it a D tier for disabled. Let's talk about Skyblock Dream for a second. I personally think stuff on the shop is really expensive. Like that's an exaggeration. Like it's just an exaggerate. It's just an exaggerate. You know what I mean. But yeah, the beginning sucks because you can't buy anything. You cannot like get out and be creative. This is unless you vote. If you vote for JartexNetwork, then you have the items. I mean, I think it would just belong on A tier. It's a really fun game to play, at least for the first few hours. Then I know it gets kind of boring and repetitive. Accounting that most people are not gonna vote if they don't like the game mode, they're just not gonna find out how good it is. So due to it being locked to a vote wall, I'm gonna give it a C tier. Let's talk about Prison. So your progress is so slow. It is my worst favorite. Is that a thing? It's the game mode that I like the least, that I hate the most, because you just progress so slow. I can't even say this enough. Some of the features are time loaded. Like what the heck? I can't farm. I must wait for it to appear on the shop. I don't even know when it's gonna appear on the shop. So you're telling me that the only thing that I can do is go to a mine, press left click, and slowly, very slowly progress towards another mine that makes me progress even so. I mean, that just doesn't sound fun to me. It's the bottom of the tier in my opinion. Also, 10 million coins per block. What the heck are you guys thinking? Maybe that's cheap for people in prestige, like, I don't know, 80, but not for a beginner, so D tier. Okay, let's talk about Gens. I personally think Gens is a B tier. Now, don't get me wrong, this is my favorite game mode by far for the first 15 minutes I've played it. There is a reason why I had like 300 players wanting to play the game on release, and now it barely reaches 30. And it's not because of the lack of updates. The bridge gets more players than Gens. It hasn't been updated for years, so I don't think that's the problem. It's just that you get to a point where you just hit a wall and you're like, oh, okay, maybe after I get through this, the game will get a bit easier and more fun. But no, it just gets so difficult to progress. It kind of reminds me of Prison, but there's a bit more freedom on Gens. And the beginning of the game is actually great. It's my favorite beginning of Jartex. So I would give it A tier. I guess for the first hour, it is worth an A tier, so I'm gonna keep it there. But if we're ranking it long term, I'm giving it a B tier. It just gets so boring. I can't. Maybe even a C tier. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it at B. Okay, Lifesteal. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about Jartex's Lifesteal. Most time I spent just doing quests, and it kind of felt like a survival game mode and nothing else. Now I did play a lot on Pika Network, and I'm guessing the game modes are very like extremely similar. So I'm gonna rank it based on what I think on what I think the game mode consists in as well. I'm gonna give it an A tier. It might even be worth the S tier, but like I haven't played it enough. It just felt like a survival game mode to me. I wasn't able to explore much, so it's just a survival with a bit more features. So I'm gonna give it an A. And finally, we got survival. I'm gonna be honest here as well. I just had a bit of fun with the stuff people gave me whenever I streamed it. But it does seem very balanced. It's how you think a survival would be. You start with like some poor gear to get you started, so you don't have to like punch a tree. Everything seems good. There is no like pay to win crates. I think they removed those. And the community is like amazing. I just got on the server the other day and they all welcomed me. I don't know if it's because I have a YouTube rank, but like I don't know. The community just seems very nice. So I'm gonna give it an 8 here. Maybe I'll put it in front of practice because the community is that good. I think this is my final tier list. If you disagree, feel free to fill out the forums. It's like the second link down below. Like the video, subscribe, and bye.